Welcome back to Cutting It Up. I am your host, Liz Groeschen, and today I am here with textile artist and educator, Ellie Pistachio.
Hi, Liz.
How did I do it? Did I do it okay?
That was great.
Thank you
for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for being here. What are you working on when you're not collaging with me?
So I'm a knitter, and I started in New York City as an actor, and then the pandemic hit, and I started taking knit art of children's drawings and staple gunning it to scaffolds around New York City, which it turned out was very popular. Everyone loved it, and it's been fantastic. I do a mix of children's inspired uplifting art and also bizarre political art. And starting in February, I began teaching. I left my non-art day job, and I've been teaching children's and adult craft classes that really teach less about skill and more about like learning how to play with materials and learning how to have some joy in our difficult times.
Yes.
And that's what I'm doing when I'm not collaging.
Can I back up?
Yeah.
Because I want to know how you got started knitting.
Oh, okay. You have to go back to when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and my great-grandmother and my great-grandfather were from England. My Nana spent her childhood in England during World War II. My great-grandmother never emigrated over here, but she was a very, very talented knitter, and no one else in the family knew how to knit. And I think my Nana decided that someone needed to carry on the talent. And my mother didn't know how to knit, and she used a book, and she taught me my first knit stitch, and it just really clicked. And I taught myself the rest.
Since 4?
Yes.
That's impressive.
And also, when my great-grandmother died, some lovely person tossed all of her stuff into a box, a cookie tin.
Yes.
Correct, like as a crafter, you know this was correct, into a cookie tin and mailed it from England. Whatever fit in that cookie tin were the knitting tools I had. And my mom wasn't a knitter. She didn't know what to get me. So it was just like, oh, I'm going to figure out what this cable needle does, what these circular needles do, and that. So
that started it all.
Yes, and I also think that's why rules don't really apply to me, because no one ever really taught me the rules to begin with. So
when you first started out, I'm guessing that you weren't doing animals at that stage.
Well, my first knitting book was a book of kids' stuffed animals.
Okay.
And I went through it so intently that my mom finally pulled me aside and was like, look, Ellie, you have to work on some real like clothing skills, because you're never gonna make it making stuffed animals. Which every time I glue up an animal on the streets of New York City, I'm like, yeah.
You did it.
I'm making weird stuff.
Do you have a favorite animal to go to?
I do a lot of birds. I put a lot of birds on things, and I just think they're very interesting. They're very like fun shapes to knit, and they flow, and they represent a lot of different feelings. I'm not a fan of birds in real life.
No.
I won't let my child go near birds in the wild. I watch people let their kids try to get near the swans.
Oh no.
In Prospect Park, and I'm like,
stay
that
away.
bird's gonna kill you.
They are.
But they are they have a lot of freedom. There's also like a ridiculousness to them when they walk, that they can be like that in the sky and then they look just ridiculous walking. I also do a lot of wolves. Like whenever I need something bad.
Wait, I haven't seen the wolves.
Oh.
So
a lot of my political art has wolves.
Okay.
There was a great, it doesn't always last so long because I think it makes more people angry, but there was a great window on a construction site in Gowanus that looked out over the New York skyline. It was like, I walked by one day and I was like, yes, that's my window. Like you can look, you just know it's the correct spot for a piece of art.
Yeah.
And I did this huge wolf just around the window with its jaws on the window, and it was eating the New York City skyline. But I think like the big bad wolf is bad. Like it's just such a like common childhood. The Wolf and the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe gave me nightmares as a child, so it could be that.
So you're also like a bit of a street artist. That could be part of your title.
Yes.
And I have asked this off camera, but I would love to dive into it on camera for anybody who might be inspired to be a street artist as well. Take me back to the first time that you put up something like in the street, if you can remember it. Like how, because I'm nervous, like I've told you before, I'm a little nervous to like do it, and I know I just have to go for it. But like, what do you look for when you're going to put some art up on the street, and like, how do you go about doing it?
Yes, I feel like I have very like distinct personal rules that are maybe like different than the standard street artists. Like,
in what way?
Well, first I feel like I have a lot of privilege because I'm like a young white woman putting up knit art, so I've never really had to worry about the cops coming for me.
Right, you're like you have a fluffy dinosaur, and it's not intimidating.
Like, what are they gonna do? But I do get nervous, like going alone. Like, I'm not going out at night at 3 a.m. on a street corner because my toddler's waking up at 5 a.m. It's just not working for my life. But
so that's a good point. Like, what time of day do you recommend?
I do like to avoid busy times, so I will go midday. I also think like something that's endlessly surprised me is that people really like it. And I think a lot of people kind of get a thrill out of watching you do the street art. Like, people stop me and are like, oh my God, that's so cool, that's so pretty. Like, it's just a fun, I don't always feel like talking to tons of strangers, so I'm always like, go away. But it's always been a surprising connection. Like, I've been able to connect with people. No one knits street art. Everyone crochets street art.
Is there a reason behind that?
I think it's because crochet, it's very easy to get curving shapes.
Okay.
And I am very bad at crochet. So there was a house around the corner from me that was it's caught in a zoning fight in New York City. The owners want to build a condo. It's only zoned for a single family house. It's like years. The owners are now just like flat out not taking care of this place. It's falling apart. It's super just like there are rat holes and it's gross. People dump trash there. And I was working a job where I'd come home at like 2 a.m. from babysitting. And it really freaked me out. And even though I was like, I know it's just like, it's fine. It's an abandoned house, but it really freaked me out. So I knit right like, I guess like 2019. I knit a huge lion, like 4 feet long. And I made it smiling and I put like flowers in its mane and stuff. Aww. And then I went out to the house in the middle of the day and I sewed. This is when I hadn't figured out my style, and I immediately was like, never will I sew on a fence again. Like, I think a lot of famous yarn bombers sew on chain link fences, so I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. And it took me like 45 minutes to get this lion up, and so many people talked to me, and I was like, I don't want this, it's too much. But people were like stopping their cars and rolling down their windows, and I was like so ready to be like,
were you ready?
Yelled at?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like bracing for trouble?
And people were like, hey, that's beautiful, thanks. And it was because the house was such a trash heap and it needed like a happy lion. And then I'd walk home late at night and there'd be this like crazy like lion smiling at me from the abandoned lot, and like it really helped. And then like in 2020 I lost my babysitting day job and I had unemployment, which was paying, my part of the rent, and I had nothing to do with myself, and I just started kind of like knitting love notes to people and putting them up, and it was like the same energy as the lion. I switched to a staple gun so that I could go fast.
So how long does something that used to take you an hour, how long can you put that up now?
In and out in 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Also, I have recently, in the last like 3 or 4 months, switched to a really top-notch cordless glue gun, which is just as fast but also silent.
What's the name? I feel like, can we share it?
Can I share it? They don't sponsor me, so I would
this
love
is not
them
sponsored.
to pay. I would love them to sponsor me.
We need sponsorship for all of this textile street art.
Yeah.
So, what is it?
Ryobi. Ryobi. RYOBI.
What's the price point?
It's not great. It's not home. I mean, here's my pitch, I guess, for home crafters to buy themselves nice tools. It's
like they last.
Yeah, it's like $80. But it has the same battery packs that I guess also work with the brand's power tools, like drills and saws. And you just charge them and you pop them on, and it gets like twice as hot as a normal glue gun. And it's just like lava coming out of there real fast, lasts so long. And then on the street, like, there's on Lincoln in Bedford, I have an octopus.
Okay.
It has been up now for like 8 months.
Okay.
6 months. I'm like, that's hot glue. I really didn't.
So hot glue and staple.
Just hot glue.
Just hot glue.
Like cement. But I do have to warn whenever someone's using it, like in one of my classes, like I had an adult class where people made collaged rats. And I had to be like, this isn't a normal hot glue gun.
Yeah,
like,
this is serious.
Please don't sue me when you touch it wrong.
Yeah, that makes sense. May I ask if you have any other tools up your sleeve? I love a good like tool hint. So just while we're on the subject.
I think something that I think counts as a tool, but I'm going to share and then you can
we can decide if it's a tool
am
or not.
So I do this thing specifically at Yarnbomb Club that I run, where I just knit with whatever needles I have near me, and they are not matching sizes, matching brands, or matching colors. And it really throws people off.
Oh.
Because I just don't care enough to like match them.
But I feel like that always will give it like a really good texture.
Yeah, it also doesn't throw it off as much as you'd think when I'm knitting street art. You know, it just doesn't matter, and I don't spend a lot of time trying to match everything up and trying to get, I'll also knit back and forth on circular needles. That's another, if you're knitting on the subway, on the New York City subway, use circular needles, because then
it doesn't go anywhere.
You're not going to drop a needle on the floor and have it roll. And even if you do drop your needle on the floor, it's not rolling away under the subway seat, which,
right.
Especially since some of my needles are my great grandmother's needles.
Yeah, you want to keep those. They got to go back in the tin.
Subway. Yeah,
you know. Okay.
So, yeah.
You mentioned Yarnbomb. Mm-hmm. Yarnbomb Club.
Yes.
Can you tell us about it?
Brooklyn Yarnbomb Club.
What is a Yarnbomb Club?
Well, Yarnbomb is the like term for a piece of knit or crocheted street art. A lot of people were asking how I did it, and it's not that hard. And I realized that a lot of people would maybe enjoy doing it with me. Mm-hmm. And I'm not super into like knitting groups because I feel like it gets very unintentionally competitive, or I'm unintentionally competitive, where I'm suddenly sitting there like, I'd be like, what knitting piece can I bring tonight that's like halfway done so people can see how nice it is, but it's easy enough I can knit while I'm talking to people. And that's just like a huge suck on my energy if I'm going to be social. So I started Yarnbomb Club, and we make like animals and words. We've done a turtle and a bird and a house, and we put them all over Flatbush. But we work on it real slow. We like take a year to make a single yarn bomb, and we do it just a square at a time. And we also like, you're allowed to take stuff with you, but I really suggest people don't. And you just throw your half-finished thing back in the tub at the end.
Oh.
And next time someone else can pick it up and someone else can work on it. You don't even need to worry about like, did I finish it? Did I do enough? It's just like this huge communal project. Meets about every 2 weeks in Flatbush. So people like drop in a couple times a year. And it's just like a really good, we talk dirt about local politicians. We like tell people how to like get stuff fixed with their landlords. We talk about like new restaurants that open. We talk about like TV shows, but it's nice that it's hyper local. And we meet at a local store, Awesome, which is obviously one of my favorite stores, but also I think it's nice not being in someone's house, because that way you can, it's hard to show up to a stranger's house, but it's easier to like go sit in a store that you've shopped in. So I think it welcomes more people in. It's
like a kind of community space, like a third space, right?
Yeah, yes.
A third space is good. There's like less pressure, and then you don't feel bad when you have to leave or you want to leave. It's just like...
You don't need to bring anything with you. No one's like having to clean up to like host you or anything.
Nice vibes.
Yeah, it's a nice vibe. And we also were able to get a grant, like a $1,000 grant from a foundation called the Awesome Foundation.
Really?
Yes, not related to the store Awesome.
Okay.
Which was hilarious.
How did this come about?
Someone sent me this organization, the Awesome Foundation, does grants they do $1,000 grants for small community projects. And you don't have to be a 501c3. They're just like, tell us what you do with $1,000. I'd make sure we had nice yarn. And they like gave us $1,000. And like for our group, that's like a ton of yarn, you know? Like that really set us up. We have tools. That means like no one has to bring their own yarn. No one has to have tools when they show up. And it's just, it makes it feel like someone cares, which makes the group feel really nice.
That's amazing. Can you apply again? Like, can you just be a repeat awesome recipient?
That's a good question. I don't think you can apply again, but they do have like a newsletter and a community that you become part of when you win your grant. And so you can get like advertising and connect with other awesome grant awardees.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
When did this happen? I had no idea.
Yes, it happened, I think the very end of 2024.
Very end of 2024.
Like,
so almost
now,
2 years ago.
Yeah. And it really took it from like a beginner thing to like a thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. So when you are envisioning something going up on the street, I'm just going to pop back over to there. Do you have something in mind? Do you see the location first, or do you have like an idea for what you want to go up first?
It really varies, like some of both. I like sometimes you just see the most perfect space. I feel like that happens. Mostly whenever I see a good space, I love site-specific art. I love art that like interacts with its background.
Yeah.
And the theater piece I did was hung on wire mesh so that it initially was performed in a garden and you could see the garden with the art on top of the garden. Mm-hmm. So I love when I find a wall that is like so interesting that the art works in a specific way with the environment. But I don't always find things often enough, so then I just start like producing animals. I spent all of last year making things with wings, and I called the series Mostly Birds, and I did mostly birds, but I also did like cats.
Okay.
Mostly cat, a tiger, a cheetah, a house cat, all with different like animals' wings. A snake with wings. And I put those up kind of wherever I found like a good scaffold that felt like it needed
some wings.
Yeah. And I also try to choose scaffolds that I'm trying to think. My rules for mounting art are that I try not to put it on a person's property, like an individual's property.
Okay.
Like large company scaffolds are a go, and if you clearly don't take care of your property, it's a go.
That makes sense.
Like my falling down trash house, I know like a real estate company owns it or like an LLC owns it, and they are very clearly not taking care of it. So I'm happy to post up on that. Yeah.
Right.
But like someone's house, I wouldn't do without their permission.
Sure.
Like vacant lots, I feel like are fair game. Because I very rarely ask permission, but I also don't want to be putting up something that's unwelcome somewhere.
Right.
Unless I'm actively trying to bother someone with it, you know?
That makes sense. How is your collage coming?
It's good. I went with all yellow, and I'm wondering about that choice, but it's too late.
That's okay. There's no wrong choices when it comes to collage. That's the best part about it.
I need like a pop of blue, and then I'll be back on track.
You really can't go wrong. You just figure something out, and then if you don't like it, then you just kind of glue over it. Right now, I'm trying to like play with some symmetry. See my symmetry? Oh, where are you going? There we go. That looks good. I like it.
Me too. It's got a bird. I found the bird. I found your one bird.
Okay, that's good. Then we'll be able to be like, some things that fly, right? Some have wings, some don't. Where do you go for inspiration?
I really go to nature and children's books a lot.
Children's books are the best.
Yeah. Oh, they're we allow ourselves to be free with children, and I think there's something like as adults, we have to like tone it down and like cut it off, but we somehow allow like children to have all these nice, playful, there's just like a lot of peace in play and a lot of, I don't know, good ideas that happen in play, and there are so many gorgeous children's books.
So many. Now I'm going to ask your favorite, but I always feel put on the spot when somebody asks me book titles, then I suddenly like have never read a book in my life. Like it's hard for me to remember like titles.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm going to do it right, but
we can try.
I love Christian Robinson.
Wait, I don't know him. Him? Okay.
He is incredible, but you do know his books. He illustrated The Last Stop on Market Street. He's like he does collage. You don't know okay.
No, but keep going, because now I have books to buy for the boys.
If You Wanna Fly is like a really sweet rhyming one. He did a book along with Amanda Gorman about a kid planting a seed. He has this book called Milo.
I'm guessing he's American?
Yes.
Okay.
He has a book where a child, it's really sweet. A child's going to visit his mom in prison on the subway, and it like really looks at themes of like incarcerated parents and different types of families, but it's got such amazing subway collages that it's my son's favorite book, and we just read over and over about Milo going to visit his mom on he starts on the A train. He does some transfers. I don't know. We're really into it.
Okay.
But it's simple and maximalist, I think, is what really appeals to me. Is he, paints and textures his paper that he collages, but he also...
Sounds like Eric Carle, right?
Yes. It's got a bit of an Eric Carle energy with just like, it's very sweet and very playful and like a little bit more like quirky.
Okay.
Quirkier than Eric Carle. I'm trying to think what else. There's also a book called The Gardener that I read as a kid that I have now that my son's like a little too young for. And it's a book of letters, and it's about this young girl in the Great Depression that gets sent off to New York City to live with her grumpy uncle because her family's too poor. But she takes his rooftop of this like Brooklyn bakery that he runs, and she just starts like slowly throughout the book. She doesn't talk about it, but throughout the book she starts planting in like coffee cans and flower boxes. Okay. And like by the end of the book she's covered his whole roof in flowers. And I think like whenever I look back at that, I'm like, that's why I came to New York City. I have this huge fire escape garden now, and I think like, I don't know, just flowers popping up in the middle of the city is very inspiring to me. And also that we can make our own environment, even if we're kind of in a, wherever we are, we can do small things to affect it. And I think that really is like what my art is and what my teaching is, and very inspired by that.
And on that note, do you want to talk about your political work?
Yeah.
Tell me more about it. And we have to somehow do this in about 5 minutes.
Oh, I can do it in 5 minutes.
Okay.
I got this. I got this.
I have faith in you. But I don't have faith that I'm going to finish this in a timely manner.
My art, there's so much art, and there are so many different ways to share political beliefs, but I am all about bringing play and comedy to art and like kind of laughing at it and making it accessible. My first political series was called Eat the Monsters, and I had different mythical monsters eating Donald Trump, because we should really like assess who the real monster is in any situation, right? Like, is it the dragon, or is it maybe the person that looks like a human but
it's very eat the rich, but for children in a way.
Yes, and that's the thing, is like kids would see it, and at the time it was deep 2020 and I was babysitting, and they'd see the work And they'd be like, oh, look at the dinosaur. And I, of course, was like, at that point, I was like, a really rich family is paying me to watch their kids, and they're like seeing my like Donald Trump dying art. But the parents loved it. I feel like it was a very accessible way to be like, we don't like this guy.
Right.
And
it's a good way to be able to like talk about it with children, right?
Yes.
Because I think like I struggle sometimes in like how to approach it with my children, because you want to explain in detail like what you're feeling and why somebody might not be good, but then you don't want them to internalize anything like about being a bad guy. And so in our house, Donald Trump has made a lot of bad choices.
Oh, that's a good way. He's made some bad choices.
So many.
I haven't even had to, because I feel like he's a person that wasn't loved as a child.
Yeah.
And that's horrific. And I also feel like he is now at a point where like his actions should have consequences, but don't, which is hard. I think it really shows our children that like the world isn't fair. Also, like, I feel like we all need to feel seen. Like a lot of crazy, awful, violent things are happening to people we love in our community. And it's hard to kind of encapsulate that in a piece of art. But I think seeing, I had a more recent piece where I had a pelican eating him, and on his beak it said, just fucking eat him already. And then I had threads of yarn hanging, like red yarn hanging fringed out of the pelican's mouth like blood. Just a little more graphic than my usual. But I think like we all need a moment to like sigh and feel together on this as we like continue on, because that's all we're gonna do is continue on. Like there's no giving up because it's awful.
Yeah. And while we're wrapping up, where can viewers find you?
I am pretty much everywhere as Made by Ellie Brooklyn, BKLYN for Brooklyn.
So let's turn it around. Our big reveal. I really like it.
Cool. I like that a lot too.
Okay, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure.
Fantastic.
I'm still working on a sign off, so we're gonna workshop a few. Go cut it up. No, that doesn't work. Thanks for cutting it up with us. You better stick around next. No, see, it's gonna get awkward now. Okay. I wonder if Blair's probably laughing at me in there. I can see him.
Yeah,
He's
I
like
can see
bouncing.
his body's bouncing up.
That's our TD Blair. He laughs at me a lot.